Hi everybody, it's Julie here and I am back with a new book journal process video for you. And this time the book I'm going to do is a book by Katarina Bivald, and this is a spread that I did on another book that I read from her, by her. And I really wanted to use sort of the same stuff on this collection, in this spread, to sort of tie in that they are the same book, but also it works really well. So I pulled out a few papers from the Dear Lucy Lovely Day 6x6 pad. And I found this paper has like all these kind of different words and phrases all over it in a very crazy kind of way. And I thought it was perfect because the main character in this book is a bit crazy, like we all are. I mean, we're girls, right? um, and then I also found this paper has like a little village with cars in it, and it's sort of perfect. So this book is called, if I'm just translating it right off, because I don't know if it's in English yet, it's called Life, Motorcycles and Other Impossible Projects. It's a really long title. But it has sort of the same theme that she had in the first book that she gave out, which was The Readers of Broken Wheel Recommends. It has this sort of, I'm not really sure we can call her middle age because she's only 38. Well, I'm 23, so I don't really know if I am allowed to call her middle-aged. For me, middle-aged is when you're a bit like near 50, but I could be wrong. But she is like a little bit older, we should say then. She has her, and I'm saying this because her daughter is going off to not high school, but like university or whatever you call it. Uh, I realized if I'm translating our high school to your high school, it's a bit of an age gap there. But she's off to study. She's moving town, and all of a sudden the main character in the book, Annette, she's being left alone. She's been a single mom for all of the daughter's life, and now she doesn't really know what to do. And she remembers that when she was younger, she had all these dreams to take a motorcycle license and start like impossible projects and all that. So she decides to do that. And it's a bit, sort of expected that she starts to drive motorcycles. She falls in love with the motorcycle instructor. Um, yeah, everything just works out. Everybody's happy. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed. I mean, she writes really well. It's well written and it's easy to read, and I enjoyed reading it. But it sort of felt a bit like I expected something else, and when it ended, and when it did end, I was like, oh, that's it, okay. Uh, and it sort of has the same feel that the other book had, that a small town, this sort of heroine woman is living there, and when she decides to change her mindset, everything in this little small town gets changed, which is a nice thought. But I sort of expected a bit more. When I read, like, the front cover had like reviews, and it was like, oh, the ultimate feel-good book, and I was like, really? Um, I read better feel-good books, but I still thought it was worth me doing a page in my book journal. So, but yeah, it took a bit. I sort of stopped middle of the book, um, because I sort of like, yeah, I should read it, but and then I finished the other half in the last 2 days. So I mean, it's nothing really wrong with the book the way it's written. It's really easy to get through. It has a nice flow, stuff happens, but it is a bit whiny and it is a bit expected, I should say. So, but if you do like these sort of feel-good books, when you know it's going to end up happy, where the main character is going to fall in love, where you know it's going to work out, and you just need that little bit of positivity, then you should read it because it's a good book. It's just me who wanted a bit more, I suppose. Yeah. So anyway, my spread here is coming along. It's not quite as the way I like it. I mean, I think it looks fine. I'm just not quite as happy with it. And I think it's just the way I see the book sort of reflect that. One side, we have all this crazy stuff, words, and which I feel represents the book pretty well. Um, Sort of what she is thinking and what I think all women think, really. We have a little bit representation of the small town there. I'm really happy with how the title came together. It feels like, I mean, life, and then we need motorcycles and like in this sort of handwritten sort of, yeah, and in possible projects. And then on the other side, I put these little stickers from Dear Lizzie too, just to represent its lady, I suppose. And then there's a scooter, and that is supposed to symbolize a motorcycle. I know it's not really the same thing, but it was the best I could manage. So it's a really cute puffy sticker. And then I just written Katarina Bivald, and then the year it was published in Sweden. And then I have some stamps here from Felicity Jane. So one is Let's Just Be You, and then on the other side, above all of these crazy stuff, it just says my thought. And I thought that tied it in really well because it's sort of what she is thinking. And right now I'm just gluing down another piece of that paper that I used on the last spread I did about another book. And then I written, and then yeah, I took off the vellum because the part where I stamped had not dried yet. And that is it. I hope you have liked this little rambly video about my book. I'm really enjoying making these journal entries, and I hope you like watching them, and I hope to see you soon.